Hello everyone, this is Julia from Craft Room Adventures. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to make a slider card for you, and I'm using the Oh Nuts stamp set by Hello Bluebird. First I started out by stamping all of my images onto Bristol smooth cardstock with Versafine Onyx black ink, and now I'm coloring in the cute little squirrels with Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. For the squirrel I'm using number 60 brown, and I'm just adding the color where I want my shadows to go, and then I will blend everything out with my water brush. Now adding in a little bit of 201 pink haze to give him some pink cheeks. Now I'm coloring in the branches and the leaves and some of the pinecones. For those I'm using number 72 beige and also natural gray 902. And for the leaves I will be using olive green. I didn't know exactly how many images I would need for my card, so I colored 2 of the branches, but I only ended up using 1 of them. Now I'm just coloring in the leaves also with the olive green, and I'm also using some deep red and yellow. Now for the piles of leaves I'm also using the same colors. Again, just adding colors to some of the leaves, mostly half the leaves, and then adding another color to the other side. This is some bumblebee yellow. Difficult word. Now again with the deep red, and now I'm just blending everything out. The bumblebee yellow was an Arteza pen, by the way. The others were zigs so far. As you can see on screen, I also listed some other colors of the Arteza markers, which I'm not using on screen because I actually had some more leaves lying around in my stash, which I had already colored with these particular colors. And I thought if you're interested in what I used, you can check out the colors on the screen. As you can see, I colored a few more squirrels, but I don't end up using them because with the slider mechanism I didn't have enough room on my card. So I just keep them for another one. Now I'm coloring in the pine cones with the colors beige and natural gray. For the background, I'm ink blending squeezed lemonade and dried marigold distress ink. And as per usual, I'm just blending the colors back and forth until I'm happy with the blend. Off camera, I also die cut a hill border with the Grassy Knoll die from Hello Bluebird and the gallery frame number 1 out of white cardstock. I'm ink blending the hill with peeled paint distressing. Again, just adding as much color as I think I need. I didn't want it to be too dark. Here you can see the frame that I die cut. It's from the gallery frame number 1, and now I'm just trying to figure out the placement of my images. I decided to add the branch on the outside of the frame to make sure it doesn't get in the way of my slider mechanism. Now I'm adding my grass panel to the background. Now I just added some foam tape all around the background, and I already adhered the slider beads on the back of my little squirrel. Here you can see there are these long glass beads, and I just made sure to adhere them parallel and on both sides of the squirrel so that it would move without tilting, if that makes sense. I hope you can see it alright, because they do need to dry for a while to make sure they don't fall off later. Also, you need to make sure that you don't add too much liquid adhesive so you don't clog the beads. Now I'm just using some nylon string and I'm fiddling that into the tiny little beads, which turns out can be more difficult than expected. First one worked, second one was kind of a pain, but oh well. We'll get there eventually. There we go, now it's on there. And now I just need to figure out the placement of my strings, making sure I don't lose my squirrel. Start over, stringing the beads up. There we go. Now I just need to make sure what angle I want the squirrel to be, and then I'm just peeling up the backing sheet of my foam tape and adding a second layer because I realized that there wasn't enough room for the squirrel to slide with just one layer of foam tape. The tape I'm using is 2mm foam tape, so the card itself has quite a bit of bulk, but I just love the effect, so I don't mind it as much. Here I'm just peeling off the backer sheet, and I'm just placing the strings into it, making sure to keep it parallel to the beads the way I adhered them. And there you can see it's working, and I'm just trying to see where it would look best. I decided on making him slide from the top left to the bottom right, and there we go. This is our mechanism, just making sure that the strings are nicely pressed into the adhesive of the foam tape, and now I'm just trimming off the excess of the strings. Still making sure it all works with the images that I want to add. Now thinking about adding a second squirrel, but it was just a little bit too crowded for my taste, so I just left it out. Now I realized that I didn't stamp a sentiment, as usual, and trying to figure out how to edit. I realized that the ones from the stamp set just wouldn't work, so I just kept going on without, figuring it'll be fine without. Now I'm adding a third layer of foam tape to seal in the strings that I was using. Sorry, my head keeps popping in there. Apparently I needed to see it real up close. Now I'm just adding some powder tulle to anywhere that the squirrel might touch so that he won't get stuck. And now I'm just playing around with it a bit. No, I'm of course making sure it works. Not that I will be playing. Now I'm just adding my frame. With this I got really lucky because the foam tape was the exact same size as the frame, so I didn't have to cut it down, which worked awesome. Now I'm just adding in the pile of leaves, and I thought I was done, but I was really missing a sentiment. Playing again. So I looked through my stash and tried to find something that would work. I just have to play with it. I'm sorry. It's too cute. I ended up using a speech bubble from the Fall Buddy stamp set. And now I'm just feeling really brave and just going for it, because that might ruin the entire card. But I really wanted it there, so I just thought, whatever. I'll have to put something over it if it doesn't work. But I got lucky, and it stamped perfectly. I thought my card was done then, but I realized that I needed a few more leaves around so that it would look like the leaves would be flying up as soon as the squirrel would jump down. So I ended up off camera adding some of the leaves, as you can see here, and that finished off the card so nicely. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, bye!